In this video we want to give you some curiosities about the brain, because we are brain lovers. The brain is our most complex organ, and we humans are the lucky owners of this wonder. Pleasure, merriment, laughter and amusement, as well as grief, pain, anxiety and tears, all arise from the brain, wrote Hippocrates, the father of medicine, in the 5th century BC. Let's try to describe the brain synthetically. A bizarre but evocative description of the brain is as follows. Human brain is as big as coconut, the shape of a walnut, the color of uncooked liver, and the consistency of a chilled butter. Description by Rita Carter, scientific popularizer. The cerebral cortex, with a typical pleated shape, is the outermost part of the brain, and it is the wonderful place of thought. It is also the place of skills such as sight, language, and movement. The cerebral cortex constitutes about 80% of the brain, and if it were stretched, it would have the size of a tower, approximately 50 by 40 centimeters, with a thickness of about 3 millimeters. Under the cortex is the limbic system, which mainly deals with our emotions, both positive and negative, sexual desire and memory. Below is the cerebellum, which has the shape of a miniature brain and has above all the function of regulating the precision, coordination and timing of our movements. In front of the cerebellum is the brainstem, which has an elongated shape and is the seat of vital functions such as breathing, heart rate, body temperature, blood pressure, sleep-wake rhythm, and the functioning of many internal organs. The brain connects with other parts of our body through the spinal cord, which is a set of nerve fibers that are located inside the spine and from which the peripheral nerves depart. Through this network of nerves, the brain sends information and commands to the body and in turn receives information from the body. The human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, which are nerve cells that communicate with each other. To communicate with each other, neurons use chemical signals, neurotransmitters, spraying them into synapses, which are the spaces in which neurons connect to each other. The neurotransmitters are sprayed from one neuron to another neuron and activate in the neuron that receives them a microscopic electric discharge that causes that neuron to in turn spray the chemical on another neuron and so on. Inside the neurons, the electrical signals run at a speed of over 360 km per hour. The neuron is a polyamorous cell according to the Korean-American scientist SEBASTIAN. In fact, a rich series of filaments extends from the body of the neuron with which the neuron embraces thousands of other neurons. Among the first to observe and describe neurons were the Italian Nobel Prize winner Camillo Golgi, who in 1873 discovered an innovative coloring for observing neurons under a microscope, and the Spanish Nobel Prize winner Santiago Ramon y Cajal, who with Golgi's coloring observed and very faithfully represented the structure of neurons in his famous drawings. Cajal coined the term protoplasmic kiss to indicate the synapses, that is, that points where neurons touch and communicate. Mapping a complete human connectome is one of the greatest technological challenges of all time, according to Sebastian. The connectome is the map of connection between the billions of neurons in our brain. Every man, if he decides, can be the sculptor of his own brain, claimed Cajal. In fact, the brain is ductile and is in continuous transformation. It changes through experiences. When we study, for example, we are changing it, and when we learn something new, we modified our brains. This means that we can improve our brain. One of the many ways to help him is to practice complex mental tasks, such as math puzzles, crosswords, and Sudoku. Adequate use of video games is also a way to strengthen our brain. For adequate use we mean, for example, non-excessive use, use appropriate to age, and which is not contraindicated for the user. Brain implants are an important subject of study by neuroscientists and biomedical engineers. There are those who argue that in the future it may be possible to use prostheses of the limbs controlled by our thinking or have an immense increase in our ability to memorize. An experiment was conducted at the University of Southern California, in which a neural implant consisting of electrodes implanted in the brain was inserted in some patients with epilepsy with the effect of enhancing cognitive performance and memory. According to Brazilian scientist Miguel Nicoletis, brain implants will one day be as common as heart implants. Scientist Ray Kurzweil, considered one of the 200 genes currently living in Edison's true heir, believes that in the future it will be possible to extend the lifespan and potential of the brain through genetics, nanotechnology and robotics. Transhumanism is the current of thought that supports a human modification by science and technology. An example is the digital backup of our memory. It would involve moving the data of our mind inside a synthetic body when our body is no longer able to function. A message at the end of this video. As humans, we are the fortunate owners of this wonderful tool which is the brain. The good fortune of possessing the extraordinary abilities that thought and mind provide us is a gift and a privilege. A privilege that can help us feel good about ourselves and all human beings, unique and wonderful organisms before which it is natural to feel a sense of deep admiration, love and respect. We hope you enjoyed this video. Have you discovered anything new with this video? Write your impressions in the comments. If you liked it, give us a like, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends.